proceed to the Canadian outpost and establish their fate.
Oof, guys, did you see that Democrat assassin thing? Doesn't that just reek of bullshit and conspiracy theory? Like, so far, the news we have on that is a Democrat senator voted against the far left on a bill. The bill was to provide social health care to illegal aliens, I believe. She voted no on that against her radical left party's interests. She went home. She got a knock on the door. She answered the door. She would have seen flashing lights from like a fake police cruiser, and she would have seen a dude in a mask and a fake police uniform. And then the dude shot her and her husband, and to my knowledge they both died. Like, that's fucking, like, that timing's fucking very suspicious. That is very, very suspicious timing right after she's voted for, like, against a radical left bill that's going to, you know, contribute to the destruction of the United States, providing, you know, healthcare to illegal aliens. And most, like, 30% of said illegal aliens are, you know, terribly criminal, like child trafficking, child sex trafficking, MS-13, so murder, all that sort of horrible shit. 100% of them give money to human trafficking causes. So it's sort of like if you're buying barn-laid eggs or fucking free-range eggs. They're all buying cage eggs, let's just say, because they're all, you know, essentially giving money to fucking human trafficking. Voted against that, against that radical left policy, and like suspiciously fast after that, she is killed by like a random dude. And like after that, the dude goes to go back, the assassin goes to go back to his car. He is engaged with police officers. He somehow manages to escape on foot, which is fucking insane, especially given that like the Democrats area is obviously going to be like a high profile, you know, sort of area with rich houses, doorbell cameras everywhere, surveillance cameras everywhere. No one saw him on any of these. He managed to get away. In his car that he couldn't get in because the police interrupted him, suspiciously quickly, I might add, if this is a hit, they find a bunch of No King pamphlets, which is like allegedly a George Soros funded far left conspiracy thing against Trump and against the United States. Totally astroturfed movement, supported by media, just like all bullshit. They find a bunch of pamphlets for that, and they find a kill list of other targets, and on his targets are like abortion activists and that sort of shit. So what would appear superficially to be right-wing targets, right? Because if left is pro-life, no, I got that wrong. Left is pro-abortion, right is pro-life. So if he's going after pro-abortion activists, that would allegedly mean he's right-wing or holds right-wing ideas on concepts such as abortion, which is pretty insane if he's got radical left pamphlets from a radical left astroturf movement, and he's just decided to assassinate a Democrat that voted against a radical left piece of legislation. So right there is political motive. Like, forgetting the fact that it's suspicious he got away. Like, that's incredibly suspicious that he managed to get away from the police on foot after they interrupted him, while he's wearing a fucking mask and a police uniform. Like, he would stick out like dog's balls. I'm assuming hedges, big fences, gates the whole way through, because it's like a fucking rich area. Like, yeah, there's no way he got away. It's like they're trying to paint him as like this sort of like a crazy schizophrenic type dude. But then again, he was also extremely professional in getting his element of surprise out. Like, he had a mask on to cover his identity. He posed as a police officer to get them to open the door. Like, if you're super schizophrenic fucking nuts hearing voices and shit, that shows a pretty high level of, you know, conscious thought and conscious attempt to not get caught, right? That's awfully professional for someone who has absolutely no fucking idea what they're doing politically. Like, on one hand is assassinating Democrats for voting against the far left, but also has targets on his hit list that are what, pro-abortion, so that would indicate he's right wing. Like, that just looks suspicious, right? But that also looks professionally suspicious, as if they're flooding the area with conflicting motives to confuse the investigation, right? So, my opinion, it makes it look even more professional. Professional to the point, like, that the police were involved, that he wasn't run down on foot and managed to get away, and professional as in he has confused the motive. But, like, the only true part about it is the timing of the assassination, right? Like, the only honest part about the motive here was the lady that got assassinated voted against the interests of the radical left. Like, that's the only true part of the motive. Like, the rest he would have had to have planted. And, like, if he's as professional as he seemed to be, by wearing a mask to cover his identity, dressing up as a police officer, converting his car to look like a police officer with flashing blue and red lights, like, all of that would indicate both wealth and professionalism in the assassination. But then he goes, and for some reason he's got no King pamphlets in his car, and he's also got a kill list because he can't remember it. Like, what? Huh? Like, that's all fucking bullshit. Like, I don't believe that for a second. That looks like top-down, head Democrat, clearing their party out to me. Like, all of this is alleged. I got absolutely no proof for it, besides gut feeling. But all of that looks suspiciously Democrat, clearing out the in-house traitors with violence. So that would indicate to me far-left terrorism. That looks suspicious as fuck to me. Like, yeah, like, just the muddying of the motive with the multiple conflicting pieces of evidence. And, like, all of this suspiciously after voting down, like, a radical left thing. Like, yeah, like, there's no way that that's right wing. That looks professional deep state. Deliberately, you know, they're trying to destroy America, so they do that. Right? Like, there's no way. there's no way that that's just like a fucking nutter. They're too professional for it to have been a nutter, right? And then you've got, like, the comparison to Luigi Mangione. Like, just leaving your phone somewhere, and, like, people were alleging that in Luigi's backpack he had, like, a mobile phone jammer or something like that. I don't know if that happened, but, like, how did they know his identity so fast as well? Like, we didn't get the Tranifesto from that trans person shooting up the Catholic school. Like, we didn't get that for like a year or longer. Like, what was it? I can't even remember. It was like a decent chunk of time. Crowder had that Freedom of Information request, and it took fucking ages to get it out. Like, we didn't know that was a radical leftist deliberately targeting Christians at that school for like a fucking long time, right? Same as when, like, a Islamic person does a car ramming attack, like an Egyptian national does a car ramming attack, or an Egyptian national does a flamethrower attack, like what happened recently. Like, they were initially reported as white, but we never got a name and we never got a description of them like, I believe the Egyptian national that on the flamethrower attack was initially reported as white, which is like fucking insane. So they've done that, but in this instance of this assassin, for some reason they instantly know the name and they instantly report the name. Like, all of that seems a bit fucking suspicious to me. Like, the whole lot of that seems suspicious to me, just like using common sense. Yeah, like the whole thing is just, it's fucking out there. And like the motive is even more muffled, because apparently his list was like 70 names long and it had a bunch of different people in it, like community leaders and other Democrats and doctors and all that sort of shit. In addition to like Planned Parenthood. Like, fair enough, Planned Parenthood aren't great. Like, how many babies have they aborted, and they focus on aborting black babies? Like, I consider them complicit with the whole Democrat attempt to destroy birth rates of whites and then import the third world. Like, I'd consider them complicit with it. Like, what did Kanye say? Like, Kanye in a tweet at one point pointed out, if you look at the number of black babies aborted, it looks an awful lot like a genocide, and it's real fucking hard to argue against that, right? Because, like, that number is super high. It was like in the millions, I'm pretty sure it was. Not to mention, like, each one of those is like a child. Like, you get the arguments that, oh, they're all tumors or clumps of cells or whatever. Like, it's not long until they get fingers and toes and then they start to look like a fucking person, right? Like, it really is rough. The whole thing. But, yeah, you got this fucking wacko who seems to have done his best to confuse the timing motive of Democrat who just voted against far left and betrayed their party with a bunch of physical evidence with his list of Democrats and left-leaning activists and all that sort of shit. Like, that's politically schizophrenic. And then, like, after that, he takes off. The police... sorry, I got it wrong. They catch him outside the address. He drives off. They get another call 90 minutes later. That leads them to his home address. They find his SUV there with the emergency lights on. He comes out, they fire at him, he flees, and then his roommate comes out. Like, this guy's meant to be like 50 something and he's got a roommate. Like, what's going on here exactly? Like, I guess shit's not going great if you're 50 something and you've got a roommate. You might end up shooting some politicians. Like, fair enough. But what the fuck is this? This seems to be fucking nonsense. Yeah, like all of this looks fucking weird, right? This looks really suspicious. Like, who put in the call to find him? Okay, they go to his home. His roommate reads aloud messages from him to the reporters. Like, all of that seems really fucking weird and suspicious.
Resupply.
Almost like it's too easy to provide the information, and the information's been provided too quickly and too openly, if you know what I mean. Like, Trinavesto was hidden for the longest fucking time. They hide pretty much everything that can be construed as a terrorist attack. But here we have his name, we have his roommate reading aloud his motives, reading aloud his list to reporters. We have the list, which is like public, which contains a bunch of different people on it. Most of them Democrat. like, the whole thing is super suspicious. Like, I don't believe it for a second. Like, yeah. And, like, so... Nah, look, I'm not even gonna try. All that just looks fucking weird to me. That looks extremely suspicious. Like, how could you believe any of that? Like, even the reading to reporters, like, what's going on here? Shouldn't that be in a police investigation, like in a room somewhere where you're finding that out, not reading it to media in front of everybody? Like, what is this exactly? And, like, all of the evidence, all of the physical evidence points to right wing, even though the motive was reprisal for betrayal of the left wing.
Ammunition cache here.
Like, I don't believe any of this for a second. This looks like top down, like Democrats trying to fucking take someone out of their party that betrayed them. That's what it looks like to me. And, like, it's a Democrat area, isn't it? Like, Governor Walz, Tim Walz's, like, area. And if his own area, like, portrayed his agenda, because, like, he was running mate with Kamala, and Kamala was, like, pro all of this shit, right? Pro friggin' mass immigration, pro destruction of America, pro destruction of riots. Like, that whole thing, pro-democrat idea of destruction of liberty. Wasn't she, like, pro the riots and all that sort of shit as well? Expression of rage of the what was it, the masses or some shit like that. Like, it all seems very fucking suspicious to me. Like, just at face level, that looks like it's trying to cover up something, just by the dumping of all of the conflicting political motive. Like, you wouldn't get someone who's professional enough to realise they have to wear a mask, who has the money and the time, and yet lives with a roommate that has the money and the time to do up an SUV, which is like a 60 fucking grand car, isn't it? To do it up with a police scanner and a police lights and red and black and blue flashing lights and all that sort of shit. Do up all of that, you're probably looking at, what, 70, 80 grand? Maybe, to do all that shit? To have it on the inside of the dash, get it all wired up properly, all that sort of thing. And then you've got the skin mask. I don't even know where you get skin masks like that. Maybe just a Halloween store, maybe it's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into that. Then has a gun, then knows where to find the senator. I mean, all of that, like, there's a lot there that shouldn't theoretically be known straight away just to fucking anyone, particularly a schizophrenic dude. And, like, he tried so hard not to get caught, but then ends up getting caught. Has a bunch of weird political shit in his car. Like, if he was a professional, wouldn't that car be fucking spotless, wiped down? And, like, wouldn't you set the car up, like, to make sure none of the fibers or the residue or anything was in the car? Or wouldn't you just discard the car after and burn it? Like, what's like, you wouldn't keep driving the car around and not even change the number plate. Like, it's an SUV fitted out to look like a police cruiser. Like, that'd be pretty easy to spot. And particularly, I would have to assume that all the fucking surveillance in the rich area there would have got the number plate. Like, he would have to have changed the number plate, he would have to, like, spray it a different colour, like, none of it makes sense if he's trying to get away with it, right? But then some parts do, like the mask and the impersonating police to assassinate someone. That's a really good idea, because, like, people are obedient to police like just outright. Like, then again, that idea came from a fucking one of the Dirty Harry sequels, Magnum Force, didn't it? Fucking impersonating. Well, they were police that were killing him. Oh, spoilers for Magnum Force. Wasn't a bad movie, but it was kind of silly. But like, wasn't there a serial killer that was impersonating police there a while back? He had like a spotlight in his car, but his car didn't really look like a police cruiser. He just pull people over, put the spotlight on them, and then like kidnap them after that. Like, the idea there. Oh, it's fucked. That's fucking nuts. But like, yeah, looks suspicious. That's all I'm saying. Looks very fucking weird. And look, we'd have to compare it to, like, you know, other deep state shit. Like, just the assassination of Kennedy, right? Where it had allegedly Lee Harvey Oswald, who was the patsy, who shot from the book depository thing, but it looked like Kennedy was hit through the windshield, from the other direction, which was like on the grassy knoll. And I read a book called Fry the Brain, which was all about urban sniping and all that sort of thing. It's actually a really good book. I would recommend it. It goes into all the urban sniping in Sarajevo and the IRA urban sniping and all that sort of shit and how they did it. And it pointed out that whole assassination of Kennedy thing just looked like fucking bullshit. Just given the angles where it was shot from, how it looked like he was shot from the front through the windshield, all that sort of shit. Then the magic bullet, they find the bullet on the gurney, his head's destroyed, and like all that sort of shit, right? It's just like all obviously bullshit. It all looks like the government did it. But like, it's the same sort of thing. They had the patsy, but they also swamped the area with motive and more physical evidence. Like they just swamped the area with it to destroy any single narrative, that, like, just to confuse. That seems to me to be what they've sort of done here. They've just swamped the area with his list, which is like conflicting politically, right? I'm not saying that the deep state was definitely involved, but let's remember, Waltz was the deep state's running mate in Kamala, right? Because Biden was the deep state, then it passed to Kamala as the deep state, and Waltz was the running mate for the deep state, right? So it looks to me suspicious. Let's just say that. Just comparing it to like the Kennedy assassination with the patsy and all of that sort of thing. And like, how did they know? Like 90 minutes later, okay, he got away, he drove away. 90 minutes later, they find him again from a call. First of all, how did he fucking get away? Like, especially from a rich area, I'm assuming it's like, it's a Democrat, right? It's gonna be a rich area. It's gonna be sort of gated, right? How did he get in? How did he get out? He's in a cruiser, a fake cruiser, an SUV, a dark SUV with like flashing lights on it. Surely you'd be able to fucking catch that, right? Chase that down, catch that. Apparently not. Apparently gets away. And then, where's this call come from? That leads him right to his house with his roommate. And like, why does everything go public straight away? Was it because he's a white guy that it went public straight away? Am I reading too much into that? Like, if he would have been Islamic, would the nationality and ethnicity of him being withheld for so long? Like, we're at the point where we can't even fucking trust media. Like, media's obviously fucking radical left bias. Like, just all the shit that they fucking hide. And it's just all fucking bullshit. Not a single tax dollar should go to any of that. But, like, in Australia, we fucking fund it all. But hey, look, at least the project's going down. Fucking, the project in Australia is just fucking bullshit. It's just pseudo news. It's like a entertainment talk show, which, you know, poses as news, but it's all just basically far left interpretation of media, which is in itself is far left. It's just used to shape public opinion. Absolute bullshit. But yeah, like, all of this is fucking weird. The whole lot of it's fucking weird. Figured I'd just point that out. Why not? Because this is gonna be, in the coming days, a fucking conspiracy theory for fucking sure, unless people get caught straight away. But even then it's gonna look like a conspiracy theory. Like, this is gonna be a conspiracy theory big time, this one. Yeah, this is gonna be one of the greats. It's just, there's too much weird shit in it. There's too much weird conflicting shit in it. I mean, I'll say all of that, but we forgot about Nancy Pelosi's husband and the dude in his underpants with the hammer, and we forgot that whole story pretty fucking quick, didn't we? Well, that shouldn't have been forgotten at all. That's odd. Like, answering the door and then being like weirdly defensive of him, as if he can control the situation, but he's like got a hammer and he's fucking his pants, like, what's going on there? Some sort of fucking gay role play power game. Like, what the fuck? Oh well, at least they're satisfying their appetites, I guess, as long as it didn't involve any children. I don't think it involved children. It was 2 consenting adults. Hopefully old Nancy Pelosi knew about it and wasn't having one tied over. But like, okay, I guess it's not weird when you compare it to that, but why is it always the fucking Democrats? I guess Gates had one, didn't he? Gates had the allegedly underage thing. But then again, he got cleared of that in the court, didn't he? Yeah. Like, allegedly he was setting up people with underage girls or something like that. But then again, he won the court case, so I guess it must have been bullshit. And quite frankly, you'd have to be fucking nuts to trust anything the left-wing media says about a right-wing personality. Like, I guess maybe sometimes it's right, but if you trust, like, just say BBC, for example. If you trust the fucking BBC after they covered up for Savile for fucking years and years and years, and then covered up for the grooming gangs for years and years and years, and then like covered up for Starmer, like Starmer's represented, like I read the other day that it was just like on a message board that he defended Savile and that sort of shit. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but then like just defended a bunch of terrorists and set precedent in law for terrorist rights under like search and seizure, when like most countries, terrorists typically don't have rights. They're able to be held like indefinitely or face the death penalty or shit like that, which like, yeah, probably a good idea, unless you like doing a bunch of conspiracies like apparently what's happened with fucking this dude assassinating this Democrat, which looks an awful lot like a fucking conspiracy. It's always the fucking left wing, isn't it? It's always the fucking left wing. Can't just be fucking normal, can yous? You gotta be fucking weird cunts. Do all your fucking weird trans gay shit and then fucking assassinate people, do a bunch of political violence, have all your friggin' astroturfed fake Soros riot movements, and have your fucking no kings movements, and then cause billions of dollars of damage with riots, and have your Black Lives Matter movements and all that sort of shit. You ever notice it's all on the fucking left wing? Like, how fucking weird is that shit? Bunch of fucking weird cunts destroying shit. Just destroying shit openly. And like, every time they oppose something, it's usually something sensible that they're opposing. Like, okay, we'll deport illegal immigrants, because like a good chunk of them are really bad, and like human sex traffic and shit like that, and child sex traffic. No, you can't. They need due process, all of them, even the worst. And then, like, can't hang pedophiles anymore, can't hang rapists anymore, can't kill murderers that murder in furtherance of crimes like robbery anymore. No, they have to be given their trial, and they get endless appeals on death row, and we can't even death row them anymore. We can't even kill them, can't even give them the death penalty anymore. Except if it's Luigi Mangione, because he murdered someone. And like, meanwhile, Luigi Mangione murdered like a fucking CEO, which was involved with shady practices of denying healthcare claims, which themselves may have led to premature deaths, rob people of life. And isn't that the definition of murder, really? Robbing someone of life? So you've got a murder in arguably I won't say justified, but more morally justifiable than, let's say, an impulse crime during robbery, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. And then you've got, which, you know, looks a little bit allegedly like what Carmelo Anthony was, that black kid that stabbed that high school wrestler or whatever in the heart. Like, allegedly it was like that Carmelo Anthony dude going into like a track meet where he shouldn't have been because he wasn't involved with it, and allegedly there was bags and shit there, so it looks an awful lot like he was planning to rob somebody, planning to steal shit out of bags, gets confronted allegedly by a bully, but you know, how much can you really trust left-wing narrative? And then he stabs him in self-defense when asked to leave a place that he shouldn't have been. Like, all that looks awfully suspicious. But, you know, everything on the left these days is like, why are they only reading to kids? Why aren't they reading to the elderly, or the homeless, or the disabled?
You are clear
Yeah.
to detonate. Cook those rotten bastards.
Understood, Commander. Readying the charge. We have laid waste to the enemy. A fine victory.
Tyranid biosigns down 90% and falling. Swarm annihilation confirmed. Excellent work. Move to extract. Extraction complete. Returning to orbit. Commendable work, brothers. You honor your chapter. Be ready for rearm, refit, and redeployment immediately.